Hi guys, Blaze here, welcome to another anime pickouts video. A little bit late with these. This is the first half of September, 4 days into October, assuming this goes up today. But yeah, just been a bit busy with other things in life, haven't been motivated to make the time to make this video, too busy watching anime and stuff. So anyway, I have the second part of Attack on Titan, limited edition, digibook, with the art box. As a lot of you might know, the art box was originally only solicited with the really expensive collector's edition, which came with some flags and some badges and such. But in the end, Funimation caved to consumer demand, and they did a limited number of the art box with the digibook. The art box makes the set. I'm still not overly thrilled with the digibook packaging for the two parts, but in the end, the art box is really nice, as you'll see in a minute. The digibook is much the same. The lenticular cover, again, really doesn't do a lot, as you can see there. Like it's very minimal for what lenticular technology is capable of. But this time, the digibook part of it is still, while not really worthy of being a digibook, the contents is much better. We got an interview with the guy that actually makes the manga, Hajime Ishiyama, I think he's called. There's a voice actor for the guy who plays Eren, the Japanese voice actor. Interview with him. There's also an interview with the director for the series, a very brief interview about episode 17, as well as some more character profiles and stuff. But here's the box. I really do like the box a lot. It really brings the set together, and as I said in my previous video, like when I picked up the original first part Attack on Titan, is that just give the collectors a chipboard box. Like, it makes a set, and it really has made this one truly feel collector, a collector's release, as it were. It's a really nice thing that they eventually got the box out there. I'm really glad they did. So yeah, that's Attack on Titan Part 2. Next up, we've got a Sentai Filmworks Blu Ray release. This is Mysterious Girlfriend X. This is actually a very good series. Like many, I was initially very cautious over the initial plot device of this series, which uses drool as a connection between its two leads and their romance story, basically. And for some, it all grossed them out. I checked out episode 1 just recently with Rock God Itachi, and do you know what? It actually didn't affect me. I don't know what that says about me, but let's just move on. But it never bothered me at all. So, and what I'm actually glad it didn't, because when you actually, if you can get past that, if it does bother you, what you've got here is actually a really quirky, a very beautiful looking series. The animation and art direction in this is absolutely top drawer. It looks fantastic, and this Blu-ray release is pretty darn good from Sentai as well. But yeah, if you can get past that initial premise, what you've got is a really quirky little teen romance story. That the drool part of it, like it uses that plot device and does tell a rather interesting tale. And it's got mysterious in the title, at least the English title. I'm pretty sure it's the same for the Japanese in terms of the translation and such. But it is a really mysterious story. Like, it feels like a little, like, you want to know things as you're watching it. Like, you just want to discover along the journey of these two characters and their story and such. And it's actually quite a genuine, heartfelt, quirky teen romance story. It kind of reminds me of Flowers of Evil, but Flowers of Evil is like incredibly dark, but it's the same idea where you take this premise that's a little bit twisted, and then you end up telling this tale of this teen love story. And in Flowers of Evil, it kind of remains dark with a little light moments in between, but Mysterious Girlfriend is actually a really light, happy, enjoyable, if a bit weird series. Okay, next up we got Kids on the Slope, which is the Tezuka production Noitomina music series. I remember being really excited for when this was announced, and then just have now taken forever to get it. It's been out a while now. When this was announced, Noitomina, which means it's going to be a high quality series, at least like for me, most Noitomina series have been that. But it brings together the talents of Watanabe and Kano once again. Watanabe is directing, same director from Cowboy Bebop. He's directing this, and then Kano, she did the music for Cowboy Bebop. She's also doing the music for this. It's set in the 60s, about 3 high school freshmen, students or whatever, that discover jazz together. It should be a really good series. It's pretty well reviewed, pretty well liked. I don't know why it's taken me so long to add this series to my collection, but I'm glad I have. I know that music series in anime, they tend to be quite good. I've seen quite a lot of music shows, and given that this has got Yoko Kano from Cowboy Bebop, and it's going to be a jazz soundtrack, I kind of know already this is going to be a really, really good series. So yeah, Kids on the Slide. It's actually done by Tezuka Productions. I thought it was done by Madhouse for a long, long time, but yeah, it's actually done by Tezuka Productions, which is not exactly strange or anything. It's just I just assumed it was Madhouse. Next up, we have the Moe Comedy Listen to Me Girls, I Am Your Father, which has got a recently just got a Blu Ray upgrade. I gave my DVD copy away to Rocco Itachi for his birthday. I actually never watched it, and now I've ended up buying a Blu Ray, still having never seen the series. But I actually prefer the cover on this one. I think it's nice. It's quite similar to the original, honestly, the DVD, but it's quite nice. There's no dub on this upgrade, it's just a picture quality upgrade, but given the age of this release, or this series anyway, it's I think it was like 2011, 2012 or something, so it's definitely going to look pretty good in HD, I would imagine. But yeah, just a Moe Comedy. I don't know too much about it. Honestly, Rocco Itachi enjoyed it. He's already watched it, so I plan to watch it hopefully eventually, hopefully soon, given that I own the DVD for so long without watching it. So yeah, that's that. So next we have Gachaman Crowds, or Gachaman. I love that part in the show, but yeah, they basically do that when they put their suits on, or this show's equivalent of the bird suits. Given this is based off the 1970s Gachaman series, the original Tatsunoko series. It's the fifth in a long line of series based off that franchise, although it's the first one in quite a while, I believe, like almost 20 years. If not 20 years, actually. The OVA was 93. I don't think there was anything else after that. But yeah, this is a very different Gachaman. This isn't your daddy's Gachaman or your granddad's Gachaman. It's a very updated version of that tale, I guess. Although it's not really trying to retell anything. It's basically the crowds aspect. Like a part of the title is basically based on the idea of this Facebook-esque social servicing thing that basically everyone's connect to, and that plays a part in the series. But for the most part, it's these five, I think it's five, maybe six, Gachaman people, these people that are selected to become Gachaman and help people through in society and such with their special powers and suits and all that. And it still holds all of that to the core of the story, but it's very highly stylized, but really stylized. The action's pretty good. It's definitely a modern series, like through and through, and it's actually pretty good. So I'm really looking forward to the second season. I watched this last year while it was on. I really enjoyed it. So next, finally, I picked up the original Gachaman series. This is the original complete series, 105 episodes on Blu Ray, and for the OVA from 1993 that I just mentioned on the Gachaman Crowds bit is also on here on Blu Ray, and also looks pretty good. The video quality on this is outstanding. I watched episode 1 earlier today. I only received this morning, and I sold my DVD releases, like the 9 collections or whatever, last year or the year before. I think it was last year. Yeah, last year. And I got quite a bit of money for it, but I wanted to wait for this to come out at the right price. When it first came out, I put it off, given the time of year it came out wasn't ideal for me at the time, and there was other things I was buying, yada yada. And then I eventually, earlier this year, I saw it sell on Amazon for only like £50. I was like, okay. I didn't buy it there and then. I really regretted it because then the price went back up, but the price finally came back down again to £50, so I was ready to buy it at that price. I didn't really want to pay too much more, because even though it's a really good deal, you get 105 episodes, beautiful transfer, the 3 OVAs, tons of special features. It's still a lot of money for a series that, while very much enjoyable and I do like it, it's still like it's not as engaging as other shows, and there are other shows that I still feel like they're a better spent for my money, at least for me personally. But I still really want to watch the series. It's a classic series, and I do enjoy it enough, especially at that price. So it was definitely worth it. I love the fact they've carried over as much of the Alex Ross artwork from the original collections that they could, and they have carried over pretty much every single special feature. I think the only things that are missing maybe the odd one or two little tiny featurettes that I would not remember. And I believe the karaoke weird thing that was on the original collections is no longer on the Blu-ray. But other than that, everything's here. Like all the commentaries, all the interviews. I mean, the interviews and stuff are only 480p, so they're upscaled on this release. But the quality of the video, I cannot express this enough. Like, if you have any interest in Gachaman, I highly recommend this box set because the quality of the picture is outstanding, absolutely outstanding. Next up, we have the Ghost in the Shell Steelbook. Like, I showed this in an unboxing video, my last video, but I thought I'd re-show this again just because I found out a couple of extra things about this. First is, we'll go with the bad news, good and bad news here. The bad news is, unfortunately, the English track on this release apparently is missing sound effects, which, so the English portion of this release of this movie, Ghost in the Shell, whatever, is compromised. Unfortunately, like it's not going to be something that everyone's going to notice, but I didn't actually notice it. But it's definitely there. It's been verified as sound effects missing, and it's very unlikely that this disc will get reprinted, sadly. But the good news, if you're still interested in this release, is I discovered that this steelbook and the disc inside is the same one from Anchor Bay and Manga Entertainment. They share costs, so it's region free, so you can get the steelbook if you live in America. Okay, in front of you I have the original OVA series of Patlabor, Mobile Police, on Blu Ray from Made in Japan. I actually picked this up last year. It's a really good 7-episode OVA done by Mamoru Oshii, but the eagle-eyed among you might realise now for sure that this is Patlabor, the television series, is what's in my PS3. Yes, I finally picked up the complete 47, I believe it is, 47 episode run on Blu-ray from Made in Japan of the Mobile Police Patlabor TV series. I have to put this out right now. This is one of the best looking Blu-rays ever. My god. The video quality, I'm sure like some real high quality video nerd would tell me I'm wrong, but from my amateur eyes, it blew my mind seeing this TV series, the transfer, the remastering, whatever they've done, not made in Japan obviously, but back in Japan. But these are some really high quality masters. It looks gorgeous, and I cannot wait to actually watch this series. I plan to watch it pretty soon, if not the next series I watch after I finish 2 episodes of Brave 10, which is a good series from NIS. It's worth seeing, by the way. But anyway, yeah, this just seems like some really cool classic mecha / cyberpunk / sci-fi / action mystery, given the policing, I guess, is probably bound to be a little bit of that in their series. This series was a phenomenon when it came out in Japan, like the original OVA with the 3 movies, which is actually something that the camera will not focus on this bit. It drives me crazy. I tried to refocus it there, doesn't seem to do anything. But anyway, basically, as you can see there, we've got the original OVA series and the 3 movies. That's the movie timeline. So I've got the original OVA already. The 3 movies are out in Japan, but I kind of want to wait until Made in Japan do their own release. There's also the new files that Made in Japan. I would also like to wait for their release, especially since there isn't an English supported Blu-ray for that yet. But the Japanese Blu-rays for the movies are, and Hong Kong for that matter. But Made in Japan haven't released anything in like a year. They haven't solicited anything since late 2012, and like the last thing they put out was in April on DVD. So don't know when when they're actually going to put out anything else. Like Made in Japan, really cool company. Some of the stuff they've released is really great. I haven't actually got a lot of it, but what I have got, I've loved. I've got Glass Maiden, Ray, which I haven't watched yet, and all the Patlabor stuff. I also wouldn't have minded getting the Royal Space Force movie. I definitely want to get Vampire Princess Miyu TV as well. Like, they've put out some really neat stuff, and Tokyo Magnitude 8.0 is another one I really want to get. But they seem to have disappeared off the face of the earth. Like, there was strong rumours that they'd licensed Planetes from the Sunrise Bandai Rescues. It was like Planetes was like the one main series that seemingly no one picked up, and given that it's a female lead series, there was some rumours that Made in Japan might have picked it up, and I so wanted those to be true, because the Blu Ray for Planetes, like the transfer for that is amazing. But anyway, yeah, that's my pickups for the first half of September, or part of September, I guess. I kind of just made this one Blu-ray orientated. The next one's going to be just DVDs, and it's basically going to be all retro stuff. I got a couple of old retro series, some modern releases for one of them, at least a little bit modern, but old shows, and then a bunch of OVAs I picked up on the cheap, and movies and stuff that I wanted to get and add to the collection. So anyway, yeah, look forward to that. Sorry for the long time it took me to actually do these pickup videos. Not that I imagine any of you were on the edge of your seat waiting or anything, of course. But yeah, I'll try and keep up a little bit better than what I have done. It was just a busy month, yada yada. Anyway, so I've been Blaze. Thanks for watching.